Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3 Africa. My name, of course, is Orbital Potato. This is Mauritius, and today we are continuing in probably the most drug-addicted country in the entirety of Africa. Was it worth it, upping narcotics just to please the liberals? Maybe, I guess. I've got a little idea about what we can do, right? I think we should probably try and aim for the... is it in here? The needle exchange program. I think it might be in public services. Am I just going right past it? It'll be in law and order. That's exactly where it'll be. The needle exchange, yes, so the needle exchange, fingers crossed it should be able to get our addiction down a little bit. We will do this in the next turn. Also, something to note is that probably over the course of this episode, and I say probably because it might not happen, but, you know, in all actuality it probably will happen, is that our debt is finally going to be eradicated. We're finally going to get rid of that pesky little bit of debt that we've had hanging around. And, you know, we can once again proceed down the pathway to a fully religious country. Now, we need to look at religious membership. And it turns out religious law is going to be doing an awful lot for religious membership. So it's just a case of making sure that we wait out until our entire population is indeed religious. And then we can sort of be quite happy. However, something else that we need to bear in mind is that over the course of time, you know, as this religious law policy gets implemented, a lot of people are going to get very pissed off. And we're going to need to try and, you know, do damage control and put out fires to make sure that people don't hate us too much. Uncompetitive economy, let's face it, it's never ending. It is never ending. Never, ever going to end. However, we can do something very important to deal with this drug addiction problem. Without further ado, let's go to the next turn. Alright, beautiful. GDP up. We like it when GDP goes up. That is always a really nice sign. Nuclear test treaty ban. We'll think about that one actually for now. Got a little bit of a budget surplus, and our debt is there. Less than $1 billion. Very cool indeed. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Fingers crossed, we're going to build up our reserves this turn. This bloody turn. How crazy is that going to be? That is going to be absolutely awesome. Anyway, let's introduce that policy that we said that we were going to introduce. Law and order. Needle exchange program. Perfect. Let's do it. What? This does nothing? This does not cope? I thought this was going to deal with the drug addiction problem. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we're just going to have this perpetual problem of drug addiction then. I don't think there's anything else that we can really do. I mean, we could bump up state health. That would combat drug addiction a little bit more, but I don't know if there's any other specific policies that are geared towards drug addiction. It's a good question, though. It is a good question to ask. Not so sure. We are going to be looking for, you know, these very specific compulsory church attendance policies, although we are going to need to massively get rid of liberal membership. So the Race Discrimination Act, yeah, we're going to have to phase out. In fact, we don't even need to phase this out, right? All we need to do is just make it so that increases in liberalism aren't happening. Right? Because we've already got a bunch of ways to get rid of liberals. We just need to make sure that we are not increasing the number of liberals. And unfortunately, stability is something that we can't do anything about. A little bit of a shame. Violent crime, not something that we can do something about. Handgun laws. We could tweak this, actually, to decrease the number of liberals. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. We'll just leave it there. Most importantly, though, we're going to have to do something about this community policing. And I think we're going to be scaling this right back, which is a real shame because it's a really good policy. But, you know, hey-ho, what can you do? Scaling that right back. Okay, so that's good. We've got an action plan of how to deal with all of the stuff that we are going to have issues with in the future. i.e. probably mostly the liberals and the fact that they really, really do not like our religious rules. And we are only going to be increasing these religious rules as time goes on. So, you know, membership of the religious group is going to go way, 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 way up. And membership of liberalism should come way, 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 way down. Fingers crossed. It should not be increasing. That's for certain, though. It should absolutely not be increasing. All right. Let's do not sign the treaty, because we want patriots to be happy with us. And let's get debt-free. Let's do it. Hey! And we even get an achievement for it as well. Sovereign wealth. Oh, look upon those countries with debt problems and laugh. Now we have you as our astute and, dare I say, prudent leader. The bank balance looks just great. Indeed, it does. And we're still running with an 8 billion surplus. So, you know, as our GDP goes up, we are looking very, very, very strong indeed. Like, holy cow. Started to build up reserves. That's exactly what we like to see. And yeah, what else is really interesting to note, right, is that all of the change that we're currently going to be going under, right, all of the change away from, you know, a very, very liberal government to a religious government, it's going to be a very, very, very slow process, right? So as you can see, religious law takes a fairly long time to phase itself in, right? And that is going to have consequences, and it's going to have big consequences, right? However, we also need to bear in mind that these consequences are going to happen very, 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 very slowly, okay? So, you know, we can sort of deal with the issues as they come up, because their happiness, liberal happiness, will start to go down slowly but surely. Yeah, abortion law is something else that we could fiddle around with, but I don't think we really want to fiddle around with. It's not super something that we really need to deal with. Apparently, an egalitarian society is something that we've still got going, so fantastic. It's surprising, but honestly, kind of nice. Kind of nice to see. Now, we could, if we wanted to, introduce like a major policy that is, you know, geared towards making this country much, much, much more religious. However, I think what we should probably do is we should be proactive and try and make it so that we introduce policies that are probably going to make liberals happy, right? Because let's face it, we don't want to get caught off guard by liberals just being unhappy. So we're going to try and introduce a whole bunch of little policies that are going to help us out a little bit. That's the plan anyway. Ban foreign church service. Is this good for us? National anthem at the start of the news. I don't think liberals would very much like that. Social Justice Foundation. Let's give oh shit. Yeah, alright. Let's completely scrap that policy. That's not something that we are really interested in. I was thinking maybe it would make liberals happy, but apparently an increase in liberalism is not really what we want. Art subsidies. Art subsidies might make liberals happy. Oh, it's going to increase the number of... Oh, you know what? A puppet show. Huh. That's actually going to decrease the amount of liberals. It's going to make capitalists unhappy. And it's also going to make liberals a tiny bit happier. By 1%. Okay. Very, very cool indeed. I like it a lot. I did not realize that could actually decrease the membership of liberalism. So, you know, once again, we're just going for a whole bunch of stuff that is going to help make the liberals feel a little bit more confident in being happy with us, even though, in actuality, we don't plan on really caring about liberals. International election observers, I imagine that this is going to make liberals happy. Indeed it will. A whole whopping 10 percentage points. That is what we like to see. And from here, really what we're going to see is religious membership just go through the roof. We absolutely are. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Mark my words, folks. Mark my words. GM food proposal. Let us allow GM crops. This water shortage is going to lead to an increased food price. Although, no, we've introduced agriculture subsidies, which is really going to help out. I think we should probably allow GM crops. That's going to make a little bit of a difference, I feel. Also, it's awesome to see this surplus. I'm so not surprised to seeing surplus in this game. It's very, very, very unique to feel like that. I wish we could get rid of... Oh, immigration scandal? Fine. Global economy is still in a recession, but that's fine. Honestly, the fact that the global economy is in a recession right now, it's really, really good. It gives us a really great opportunity to grow our income over the course of the next growth period. The uncompetitive economy thing, it's kind of a little bit annoying. We could actually just completely get rid of this corporation tax. And that's something that we could do, actually. We could do. It might help make this uncompetitive economy just a little bit better. However, I think that we've got serious issues with productivity. I think that's more of the issue. And this drug addiction is definitely not going to be helping. Yes, the fact that we have an ongoing drug problem in this country is, yes, it's rather not good, shall we say. Rather not good. We could bump up state healthcare. I think that's probably an idea. I honestly don't think that it's going to make a vastly crazy difference. It's fine. It doesn't matter. We'll just leave it like that. This water shortage as well. The environment needs to be really, really good for us to bloody end the water shortage. Car usage is pretty darned low. Petrol tax is making sure that it's keeping low. Bus usage is really taking a massive chunk out of car usage. Bus usage is just going through the roof right now. Is there any way that we can continue upping bus usage? Maybe with bus subsidies, actually. I think this might actually be a really good choice. It's going to piss off capitalists a little bit, going to piss off motorists a little bit, but bus usage is really, really, really going to go through the roof. And we all know that when bus usage is high, car usage must be low as a consequence. Well, you might not know that. You know, here, as you can see, higher bus usages, the lower car usage, and the lower rail usage actually is as well. Rail usage also is super, super good. I think that might also be something that we want to see happening. We'll try and maybe up rail usage if at all possible. But car usage is really the only thing that contributes to the environment anyway, as you can see. Well, car usage and air travel, I suppose. Air travel, I don't really count as a domestic form of travel. You know, car, bus, and train. That's pretty much the only way to get around a city or a town or whatever. But the environment is actually looking up. It's not looking too bad. Foreign aid received is actually going down because we've got so little poverty. Can you believe it? That is crazy. That is really, really good. I did not expect to you know, eradicate poverty to the same scale that we seem to be doing. It's quite impressive, actually. If I want to toot my own horn. We're doing pretty well in the polls. Pretty well. Yeah, we're not doing too badly. If you ever care about looking at this, I never look at this. You know, I absolutely never look at any of this stuff here. It's not a really big issue, and yeah, it's not really an area that I care about. Okay, so we've progressively got more and more liberal, but now we are shifting away from that. And you know, we're not technically going to be on this liberal, you know, conservative spectrum, I guess. That's not really where we're going to be aiming for. We're just aiming for a religious country, and you know, we can have liberal religious people or we can have conservative religious people. It doesn't bloody well matter as long as we just have religious people. Okay. Well, we've got 21 political capital. We're going to be getting 26 next turn. We can probably progress the next turn without too much bad stuff happening, as in going over the political capital cap. That's what I was looking for. GDP continuing to go up, which is what we like to see. How is this water shortage going? Water shortage continuing to decrease nicely. Cyclical natural disaster. That's not been a problem for a wee while. Do we want to try and introduce more transport policies that are geared towards the environment? I think that might be a good idea. If that's at all possible. I think it will be possible. Satellite road pricing. I think this is actually a really, really good policy. Let's save up a little bit of political capital and try and get to it. In the meantime, though, we can actually introduce another policy. Efficiency standards. I'm pretty sure that efficiency standards doesn't actually do anything. Let's try and introduce efficiency standards. Yeah, this is the one that actually increases car usage. I knew that there was one that increased car usage. So I don't really like this one, because it doesn't really help achieve the goal of helping out the environment. Coincidentally, though, that's going to be exactly enough political capital to take us up to 52, which is what we need for satellite road pricing, which is going to be a great policy to introduce, I think. Alright. Landmine ban. Yeah, let's ban landmines. Patriots really don't like us. We could be looking at a little bit of a Patriot issue. Looks like Patriot membership is going down turn on turn on turn, although not by much, it seems. Yeah, they're not very happy either. They really do not like foreign aid. Really, really, really do not like foreign aid. It's probably something that we could think about cancelling, considering, you know, foreign relations are already at tippity-top condition. Yeah, well, it's something that we might think about in the future. Alright, let's go to the next turn, and let's introduce satellite road pricing. Do we have 52 political capital? We do indeed. Let's just get that right out of there. Where is it? Satellite road pricing. Boom. Capitalists like it. Car usage goes way, 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 way down. Environmentalists like it. And motorists don't like it. But who really gives a shit about motorists anyway? And I think it costs us 1.59. We get 1.72. So, you know, we basically break even. So it's a cost-effective policy, if that was a concern for you. Although, let's face it, it really doesn't need to be a cost-effective policy, because we've got a shit ton of money to spend. Why on earth is obesity such a problem? Agriculture subsidies seem to be fueling obesity like there's no tomorrow. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good at all. I don't know what we should do about this, actually. This reduces health, and that kind of sucks. Because we really, really, really worked hard to get that health bar up. But unfortunately, it's going to count for absolutely fuck all. At least the environment is continuing to get better, which is nice to see. Car usage should be coming like way, 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 way down with the introduction of the satellite road pricing. It's going to absolutely slaughter car usage, which means that that car usage, or bus usage, and train usage should both be higher. Fingers crossed. Okay, let us appoint a senior judge. Who do we want? I don't know. Let's do that one. We'll make the Conservatives a little bit happier. Liberals, surprisingly, are super fucking happy with us right now, even though we're literally, you know, increasing our religious membership by tons and tons and tons. And the membership of liberalism is actually going down, so that's really, really nice to see as this religious law comes into effect, and creationism versus evolution. I always say evolutionism. As this effect comes into force, we're starting to see a decrease in the amount of liberals in the country. Fantastic. That's great. That's going to make it much, much easier to introduce our, you know, religious policies. And, you know, coincidentally, it also makes it easier to introduce conservative policies, because we no longer have to worry about the happiness of liberals. But you know what? Continuing our anti-liberal agenda, that's going to be something that we're going to do in another episode. Ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Orbital Potato. This has been Democracy 3 Africa. Until next time, folks. Bye.